What is going on YouTube? It is your boy Jam, and look, we back with another quick little video. Now look, after honestly thinking about everything, I honestly feel like the 2K devs owe the community a major apology, okay? And I'm gonna explain why. But before I explain why, yes, I have a towel on me right now because I just rinsed my hair out like I told y'all. I have an appointment, retouch appointment in a couple of hours. So yeah, that's why I don't want water dripping all over the place, right? But let me get to this. Number one, this game, you 2K devs, this game, right? If you want to know, like, bro, why we owe everybody an apology? Your current game, this game, 2K25, NBA 2K25, is listed in the same category as watching paint dry. That's number one. You and I both know, right? Or you and y'all all know that is never, should never be the standard or the category for a game like NBA 2K, for a franchise like NBA 2K. Then on top of that, why do I feel like I'm more of a dev than most of y'all, right? Why do I feel like I care more about the product than y'all, the ones back there developing and making these games? And then I want to say this too, right? You're probably gonna. It's sad how people can sit here, and somebody will probably still say like, "Bro, nah, it's not the devs," because if it would like people were gonna complain, right? But let me ask this question real quick, right? Let me ask this question: why are people complaining about the devs? Let's ask ourselves that, because even if there's any, which I hope there's some devs that see this video, y'all probably like, bro, everybody just gonna complain and disrespect us. Why though? Right? Let's ask ourselves, why would that be the automatic reaction? Right now, prime example, if you go to Mike Wang's Twitter, aka Beluba's Twitter, you go to his Twitter, right? And you go to his recent tweet and look at the replies, it ain't nothing but a lot of negative, bad, hate comments. And you ask yourself, why? And then when you look at Beluba, aka Mike Wang's Twitter, right? Or his X, whatever, you want to call it, Twitter or X, I still call it Twitter. You see this guy hasn't said anything about the game in arguably a year or months, right? It's been a very long time. So it's like, clearly, we don't see that you guys seem to care about the game, right? Then on top of that, right, your game gets worse year and year. And if you want to say that's not true, let's talk about these ever since Next Gen was announced. The game goes backwards, right? You guys lose focus on what makes a video game, on what keeps people on the game, right? So I look at all of these things and I'm looking like, okay, bro, that's not the community's fault. That's on you guys, right? A lot of, like, again, you 2K devs, you don't know your community. We know y'all don't know the community. Every time we get a little interview that they interview people that work for 2K, they always sit here and say some BS that the community is great. It's one of the best communities. Like, bro, you're not being truthful. You don't know the community because you don't experience the product that you made, right? Or that you were a part of. We're not saying that every dev got to take part in gameplay and how the game is, but you were a part of what was the finished product, right? If you work on 2K, I looked as you are a part of the blame because you were a part of this final product to where, bro, this is not it. You see what I mean? It ain't it. It's not. That's what I'm saying. I can't sit here and blame the community. The community was not back there making these decisions. And then let's also say this, because these Twitter spaces are probably going to be coming right back up. Now, I get it. A lot of you devs, they'll be like, bro, when the little Twitter spaces be around, they try to be around for that and understand why the community's not happy. That's like the only time you can really get the devs' attention, which that should never be the case. That's unacceptable. You shouldn't only pop up when the next 2K is about to start being talked about, or when there's a Twitter space, right? Because, for example, somebody's going to say, well, bro, Mike Wang did tweet out saying, if there's RNG, this is going to be a percent. But that's, to me, is a poor example of explaining what you're really saying. Because to me, if I know this is going to be a major effect on gameplay and potentially customers, I'm going to explain it to where they can understand. Yo, look, so my last tweet, it literally take 20 seconds to make a video. 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, right? Look, if you guys didn't understand what I'm talking about with RNG, meaning even if you know your shot, you're not going to always make it because we don't want everybody shooting a high percent. Explain it in the video, right? then I can assure you people can't be like, man, F the devs, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, people are going to still say like they don't like some of y'all, which they can have their opinion on reason why, right? On reasons why, not even just a reason, right? But people can't say you didn't explain or tell us, right? It's almost like we all remember when we was in school, you had that one class or that teacher that you liked because not even liked, but was cool and like you had cool teachers and things like that, right? Because if there was something they explained and you didn't understand, you go to that teacher and like, yo, can like I don't really get this. Can you explain it to me more? And they sit there and explain it to you. The devs basically just say, yo, we got a test. It is what it is. They don't even try to explain what it really is. They just go on there, type something up, post it on Twitter, and say, oh, well, we did tell y'all. And it's like, bro, the way this game has been trailing backwards ever since next gen was announced, you should be doing more than just tweets. You should be explaining what you're trying to get across to the community. That's what you should be doing. But instead, y'all don't do that, right? So it's like y'all are lazy. You see what I'm saying? I've made so many videos, right? Strictly because I care so much. You see what I'm saying? I care so much about the 2K community that I made so many videos about the current state of the game and the community because I care. And you honestly can say, well, J-Mid did say these things. J-Mid did speak his opinion. I didn't sit there and act like, man, there's something going on. No, we all know what's going on with 2K. We see how poor of a product and boring it is. It's for a video game aspect, it's not fun. We all know this. Right? We all know this. But you 2K devs, y'all owe us a major apology for the lack of caring, for the lack of understanding the community, right? And for the lack of just, bro, ever since next gen was announced, right? If y'all want to know what this chain is, by the way, I think this is it's a chain my mom got me. It says something about a son or something like that. That's why it's on my wrist, right? But ever since next gen was announced, right? Shout out to Mama Dukes, right? Shout out to Mama Mid. Ever since next gen was announced, okay, the game has gotten worse and worse and worse. You're taking steps backwards and not steps forward. Y'all owe us an apology. Major one. Not just one person, not just Mike Wang. A lot of you devs. Honestly, all of y'all should just apologize for the not being around, not understanding the community, not really caring about what's going on, disappearing during the game, during the product is out. And you want to know why I feel like y'all don't take times to really explain and break things down in a video-wise? Because y'all know good and well, if y'all did an example, like I said, of making a 20-second video saying, yo, look, what I tweeted out basically means blah, 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 this, and that. You know your shot, you're not going to make it all the time. You know people are not going to want to experience that and want to play it. So therefore, you're not going to explain it the way it should be explained, right? That's poor, especially when your game has gotten worse and regressed year by year, right? But that's how I look at it, okay? And like I said, it's not going to be the longest video. Little 8-minute video for y'all. I'm going to try to make it to 10. But like I told y'all, man, I just feel like the devs they should be held way more accountable than what it's looking like. I'm tired of seeing people have all these excuses for the 2K devs. Like, understand, they were the ones back there developing this basketball game. It don't even feel like a video game because you have no control. That's nothing. You ain't got no. There's so many things that is going on with this game, video game wise, NBA 2K, that the devs take no type of, blame, right, or criticism for. They don't even show up. They disappear. It's like they know the game is bad, so they're like, bro, we're not going to be around. We're going to come back when, 2K25 basically over and 2K26 talks start popping up. So, yes, people are going to be hostile and angry because where were you guys to be in the first place? You disappeared. You see what I'm saying? That's like I'm on the phone, right, with customer service, and they tell you to hang on real quick or hold on, and you're like, okay, I've been holding on for about 20 minutes. I'm not hearing nothing. If you ain't had nobody else to be on the line with, just say that. Just say, okay, like, nobody's available. Well, we'll try to figure something out, later on. You can call back later on, right? Don't just have me sitting there looking stupid like an idiot. But that's how you took devs. Y'all got people that be defending y'all look like idiots, right? Be saying, oh, people are going to complain. But why, again, why are people going to complain? Because you guys are not around, right? Other than that, y'all make sure like subscribe button, YouTube, and like I said, we need more people that keep it real. I know All City is another person I didn't mention, with people that speak real and things like that. There's a lot of country I can mention, bro. But like I said, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'll probably get back on here when I get my retwist. Other than that, it's your boy J-Man. I'm signing out. Peace out. You devs gotta start speaking up, saying something. 'Cause this is pathetic and poor, bro. It's honestly embarrassment. It's a shame, bro. Other than that, I'm out.